Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a special video, I guess, for me. I've been kind of wanting to do this for a little bit, but obviously you'll see in a second why I had to wait. So today's video is about the 6-month ownership of my 23 BMW S1000RR. So to start out, to give you guys some background, I bought the bike on April 30th-ish of 2023, so about 6 months ago. Today is now 28th of September. And I've been eyeing up the bike for a while. It took me probably maybe a month or so to actually go about buying it. I thought about buying it well in advance, but I actually seriously started considering it about a month before I bought it. Kind of looked around, shopped around. Came into the dealership where I live now. I've been here for about a year, so it took me a while to find a reputable dealer. And I went in, kind of talked and met some of the sales guys and met the guys in service and stuff like that. And got to know the area a little bit better in the dealership. And I had my eye on the S1000, didn't know what color yet, but I went with red, as you guys could probably see or know. So I went with red. I went with the premium package. And I think I got the TPMS and passenger options as well, and the M Endurance chain, which comes with the premium package. So those are the options I went with. And onto the pricing, I went with BMW Financial Services. So that's probably the easiest company to go with when you're buying a BMW bike, or any, I guess, company for that matter. They usually have all their own financial service companies and stuff to go through to make it easier for the dealer and the customer to purchase the bike, make it easier. So I went with them. I was going to go with a couple different banks, but after comparing the interest rates, of course, BMW was the best, besides a bank in my hometown, but I couldn't go through them because it would have been a hassle trying to talk back and forth between states and everything, so it would have been a challenge. So I went with BMW Financial. Some of the talking points of that is my interest rate is a little high, but for the current situation the economy's in, I guess it could be considered not the greatest. But the APR was about 8.5, I think. So not too bad, not too great, but whatever. 16-month financing, 8.5%. I believe it was 21,000 something, I think 21,600 or something like that. I'll put the exact value on the screen. And that was 21,000 was the MSRP of the bike. I'll put the actual interest and everything included on that price as well. So the overall total loan cost, what that cost. And again, like the red S1000 premium pack, TPMS, passenger kit, a few of those options as well. And that's what my total price was. This is not counting the gear costs. My helmet was about $350, jacket was about $100. My gloves were about, I think, $30. My backpack was about $30 or $40. I'm looking at getting a new one. But the gear, of course, it ranges. Everyone has their own interests and their own likes and stuff with what they buy for gear. So it could vary pretty greatly. Let's see, onto the servicing. My first service, I'll put it up on screen here. It ran me about $450. So they did the first servicing, which takes the limiter off of it. They do the chain maintenance, oil change, stuff like that. So all that will be on the screen to kind of show you what they did. Right about $450, which is pretty average from what I've seen online with the people taking their bikes in for service for the first service. Similar S1000s, they're all about the same-ish price. I've seen some go for more, some for less. It depends where you are, who you go with, stuff like that. My upcoming service, I have my second upcoming service in about a month. Obviously, I have no invoice or receipt for that. I didn't do it yet, but I already talked with the service guys, and it looks like they estimated it's going to be about $350, $320, $350-ish in that range. So that's what you're going to be looking at for your second service. And that includes, they told me, oil change with chain, clean lube, and adjusting. So $350 for all of that. Yeah, some people might complain about that. For me, I'm like, that's the cost of owning it, really. So, if you're in the big leagues, so got to pay big league prices, right? So that's that. That's the upcoming service. I believe after that they said every year to service. In your manual, when you get the manual, it'll show you all the service intervals. I can kind of put a screenshot of the manual, the owner's manual, what that looks like for intervals. And in terms of tools, so obviously you can do your own maintenance. There's nothing against that. It's just easier to get to a dealership because it saves you the hassle. But on the downside of costing more, but doing it yourself, of course costs less, but it's you have to put time in and get the tools to actually do it. I only have tools, basic ones for stuff like I have some wrenches for adjusting the chain and stuff. I have obviously chain lube and chain cleaner, and I have, let's see what else. BMW also gives you kind of like a starter toolkit. It gives you like a little bag. I'll actually pull it out in a second. I'll show you guys. Okay, so here's a little starter kit bag they give you. It's actually not that bad. So what you do is you open it up. It's a little kind of like a foldable pouch looking thing. So when you open it up, it's like a little kangaroo pouch, and here are all the tools that you'll need. I'll show you what this includes. It gives you extra fuses in case one blows or whatever. Screwdriver handle, and in here are multiple different things you could put in the screwdriver handle, like this flathead, for example. It goes in here like that. You probably know how it works. You get the idea. And here are also two wrenches. One is a 10 millimeter and one is a 13 millimeter wrench, and these are used for adjusting this one here. So 13 on one side, 10 on the other. This is used for adjusting your chain. Funny enough, so this is after you actually loosen the axle bolt or whatever it's called. They don't actually give you a tool for that. So I guess they're assuming you already have a torque wrench to get that off. But after you get that loosened, that's what you use to adjust the actual chain. So they kind of give you stuff for that, and as well as tools to remove trim pieces, because there's a lot of star-shaped bolts and stuff to get off and screws. So that's what you use to remove those. So on to the upkeep. Obviously, I kind of went over it a little bit already. We want to upkeep on the chain with the normal chain. Not the M-Endurance chain, with the normal chain, I think it's every 300 miles-ish. You want to clean, lube, and address that. And with the Endurance chain, which is what I have, I believe they recommended every 600 to 800-ish miles. You want to get that kind of adjusted and cleaned up. Oil changes every 6,000 miles. So just basic information there. Brake fluid flush every year, and then after the first year, it's every 2 years, I believe. But just for 6 months ownership, I'm just kind of going over what I did so far. So mainly a chain and oil. So 6,000 miles is about what I almost have. So oil changes coming up. And let's see, overall riding. For riding it for 6 months, I only have this, so I rode it for 6 months since April. I made a video kind of on that, kind of going over what it's like to daily a bike. So 6 months riding this day in, day out. It's actually not very uncomfortable. It's not too bad. So the seating position is not aggressive. It's not that, you're not leaning all the way forward. You're kind of just, it's comfortable. The seat's not bad. There are adjustable seats, so you can actually swap out different seat heights and different seat softness and stiffness. So there's those as well if you're looking at something a little bit stiffer or softer. They do offer a few different options for that. Yeah, like I said, overall, it's not a bad position. It's not a bad bike to ride every day. Obviously, a cruiser or something is much more comfortable for that. But yeah, in terms of sports bike and super bikes, S1000 is easily probably the most comfortable bike daily, for sure. And yeah, it's adjustable. You can adjust the dampers and the suspension and springs as much as you want. So you can kind of get exactly what you're looking for and the softness you're looking for. So yeah, I think there's 14 different settings you can change the suspension to. So it's tunable to you and exactly what you're looking for. I also have kind of background, you obviously know already, in the background is me riding around, just to kind of have some background to keep your brain entertained. So what it takes to daily, obviously dailying a bike isn't for everyone, that goes without saying. Obviously I'm not going to tell you guys to go out and daily a bike, cars are stupid, blah blah blah, no. If you have a car, keep it, fine. I'm not going to tell you to daily a bike. But if you're interested in going through my avenue of extremes and craziness, to daily this, I would definitely say passion is involved. You definitely really have to want and like bikes a lot to be able to do this. And you also need a lot of gear. So you're going to want rain gear, that goes without saying. If you live in a more harsh climate, like winter, somewhere where it gets cold, or even where it gets super hot, you want to kind of adjust your gear and your outfit and attire to the climate where you're at. And keep in mind things and weather ahead of time. Yeah, some basic stuff. Obviously a helmet, obviously a jacket and gloves. Backpack, you want to get a nice one, pretty big one to carry stuff around in. Obviously you don't have a trunk anymore with a car. So yeah, get a decent sized backpack, waterproof preferably. And I have music in my helmet, which kind of keeps me entertained on the road when I'm in traffic or whatever. I can listen to music in my helmet. It was only like a $30, $25, $30 helmet thing to plug in, which isn't that bad. Bluetooth, obviously, so that's not too bad either. Some of the future things that I want to get, so that was the past 6 months. So looking into the future, some things I'm looking forward to getting or want to get are stuff like, let me see what I have on here. Tank grips is a big thing I'm looking to get. I'm trying to find the best ones. It kind of helps me keep my body upright a little bit, more comfortable. Kind of makes me not rest my hands so hard on the handlebars to kind of keep myself more comfortable. Chain adjusters, so aftermarket chain adjusters. I think a lot of people use those. I heard a dealership says a lot of people get aftermarket chain adjusters. Makes it a lot easier to do that. Obviously, I'm not a professional mechanic, but I do try to do my own chain maintenance, and those make it a lot easier. I don't currently have them, obviously, but I do want to get them in the future to make it a lot easier to adjust that when I ever have to do that. And the last thing I'm looking forward to getting is a bigger backpack. So the one I have now is really old. I've had it for probably 5-6 years. It's held up pretty well, so it's old reliable, but yeah, I do want to get a bigger backpack to hold more stuff, and a waterproof one, more compartments. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to getting. And overall rating, overall kind of comments and stuff like that, more like a conclusion sort of. It's definitely doable. If you're looking to daily a bike, it's definitely doable. It's kind of, just keep in mind things you gotta keep in your head, like storage, weather are the main two things. So keep that in mind. It's definitely doable. If you're comfortable enough doing it and you know your stuff, you can certainly do it. And I wanted to kind of give an overview of it, specifically the S1000. Definitely keep up on the maintenance. It's a very maintenance-heavy bike. Make sure everything's running well, because if one thing goes wrong, more things can go wrong. So definitely keep up on the maintenance and overlook everything: tire pressures, brakes, fluid levels, oil changes, all that stuff. Keep up to date. Keep an eye on that. And yeah, the overall thoughts so far are definitely, it's a lot of fun. I have no complaints so far. I mean, it's S1000. How could you hate it? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's my dream bike. I wanted it for a long time, and I finally have it. So I'm enjoying every second of it. Every day is another adventure. Back and forth to work, trips, vacations, etc. It's an awesome thing to have. And I can't thank the dealership I bought it from enough for the experience and the pleasure of driving it and riding it and buying it. They're super helpful. So this is a kind of overview of 6 months of riding the bike and enjoying it every second. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about anything I may have not covered, leave it in the comments, and I'll get to answer as many as I can, as fast as I can. So yeah, leave suggestions on what you want to see next. Like I said, this thing is all I have, so if you want to see a video of me driving it in the snow, I'll do it. I don't care. So yeah, I look forward to you guys' comments, and if you have any questions, like I said, leave it below and I'll get to them as fast as I can. And ride safe and enjoy the rest of your day.